Foodlandia is sponsored by New Pioneer Co-op, keeping it real since 1971.
Hi, my name is Jessica Pappalardo, and I'm here with Teresa Carberry at the co-op in Coralville. Just wanted to ask you a few questions about the co-op, kind of how it came to be, because this is the newest location, one of two in Iowa City, Coralville area. Can you tell us a few words about it?
Well, a group of people were thinking that food really made a difference in how you look and feel, and that it has an impact on the environment. And they even were aware there's issues of social justice associated with food production. So they were a bunch of idealists, and they liked a good meal. So they came together as a buying club, grew into a storefront, made a success of it, and opened a second store over here on the other side of the river.
Where can people expect to find produce from?
Well, we like to support the fresh, local, natural, organic growers, and we even hang their pictures up in our department. Now you're coming into winter, and now it's time for root crops and root vegetables and kale and vegetables like that. And some don't think they're quite as glamorous as the tomatoes and peppers and eggplants, but they're all good. And eating with the seasons is part of being a local eater, a locavore. And what's available in our market will reflect what's available from our growers. Grinnell Heritage Farm, for example, made a special effort to find fabulous carrots, learned the tricks of growing great carrots. And we'll have those because they have them in storage, and they bring them out from storage in a measured way, so there's always some available. We need to get local, not just because it's fresher and better and economically more sustainable. It might also be sort of a self-sufficiency thing and food adequate supplies.
That's really quite interesting. What do you mean exactly by self-sufficiency?
Part of awareness of local foods and supporting local growers is to have food where we live, and that we're producing our own food. And so issues of food security are out there too. Local foods taste good, feel good, and we'll have greater self-sufficiency.
Well, absolutely. I think that's one of the reasons why we're starting the show Foodland, is because we want to show people that there is a more economical, healthy, and environmentally sound and also a fun way to sort of get involved in your foods. Hi, my name is Jessica Pappalardo, and I am going to use Jacob's Strawberry Simple Syrup to make a few different cocktail options. We have some Clear Heart vodka, which is made by Cedar Ridge Distillery in Iowa. I enjoy putting fresh sprigs of lavender and different kinds of herbs, and you can even use edible flowers and things like that. That's really nice too. So now we're going for more equal parts strawberry simple syrup to vodka. Taking some ice, and we simply drain it into one of our mason jars.
After much discussion, we decided that jam jars were the way to go for cocktails.
And then we can just add a little bit of the strawberry chunks to it.
That is delicious.
Okay, let's try it. Yum. It's sweet and still has enough bite to kind of let you know that you're drinking a cocktail. So we just did our vodka mixed drink, and now I actually brought two different kinds of sparkling wine. We have Prosecco, which is an Italian sparkling wine, and we have a Cava, which is a Spanish sparkling wine. There are different ways that you can mix these. You can first put the simple syrup in the glass, which is nice because it allows for the mixture to kind of mixes itself with the bubbles, but it also can cause the liquid to bubble up kind of ferociously at times. So you can sort of have some trouble with some spillage. The simple syrup is still at the bottom, and then as you drink it, it'll kind of mix together. So try that. Oh, actually, wait. It's the little details that make people really appreciate what they're eating or what they're drinking. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, now that's lovely. That's
Yeah,
really
and then you have the
nice.
2 layers too, so it's quite an attractive drink as well. This is the homemade croissant with the strawberry. Is it strawberry rhubarb?
Strawberry rhubarb jam.
There's a lot of strawberry flavor, but has just a little bit of that tart rhubarb, which is one of my favorites.
Well, it's 2 parts strawberry to 1 part rhubarb. So if you wanted to throw in some other berries in there, you could.
Yes, thank you all for joining us here at Foodlandia for some jam, simple syrup, cocktail, croissant madness. We hope you try this at home. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, Teresa, so we are now in the dairy section, and you have been kind of waxing poetic about your cheeses.
Favorites.
Yes, so go ahead and continue.
Well, what's great about these small dairy operations is it gives the family a chance to stay on the land and keep their animals. And it takes a lot of skill and organization to make their animals milk into cheese and then market and promote their cheeses. And we even have award-winning cheeses here. Here's a cow's milk cheese. It's sort of like cheddar meets Parmesan. You just keep eating more of it. I don't understand why it's so good. I have to have more. That's the Prairie Breeze from Milton Creamery. I love that one. And here's a goat cheese. So, and of course, can get milk from goats as well. So ask the staff to direct you to some of their favorites and the local cheeses. Let them come to room temperature. Have a nice bottle of wine and you're in heaven.
So we're interested to hear about what's going on with the local dairy businesses and farmers and things like that.
Well, it's a challenge, you know, to make a living on the farm if everything is beef and confinement hogs and corn and soy. So what we want to do is diversify because that's more the foods that we like to eat. So we have the small meat producers bringing us, say, a lamb. And these are not little baby lambs. These are great big lambs. And then we cut them down. We make our own sausage. So we're trying to take the meat and the cheese from the people who are actually producing it. And in this case, it's a challenge to run a successful dairy farm because the milk itself on occasion is a very low value. But if you can have the value added of making the milk into cheese and then you sell the cheese, it increases your chances of staying on the farm and creating marvelous traditions in cheese, even award-winning.
Absolutely. Can you tell us a little bit more about this award-winning cheese, where it comes from and who is making it?
Well, it's Reichardt's Dairy Air. She thinks that's a little risque. But we can see her a picture above us. So it's one gal and her like 24 goats. And she knows them all by name, and they have a very personal relationship and very small production. But that's good. You can come here and get it.
Fabulous. Well, thank you so much for sharing.
I'd like to kind of welcome everybody to the kitchen, and we're all here kind of putting the finishing touches on the squash episode. Jessica's working on a centerpiece right there.
Making pretty flour arrangements.
This is Jacob. He's our resident baker.
Hello.
And yeah, cook extraordinaire. Audrey. What we're trying to do is sort of recreate some of the dishes that we've shown earlier. Our squash risotto, our grilled squash salad, and also sort of do some improvements. We're going to do a roasted squash and red pepper soup, which will be available on the website. So yeah, welcome.
And Chef Jake.
Yeah, I forgot myself. I'm Jake. Hi. And that's Carly.
Oh, you've already got the beets. Oh, wait, can we? Oh, it doesn't go in the oven.
Here, I'll use that one. Wine especially works well.
I didn't learn how to ride a bike until I was 25 years old. And I saw a picture of Einstein riding a bicycle, and I thought to myself, well, if Einstein can do it, I can do it.
These look awesome.
And we all know that I do what Jessica says to do.
Oh. I think there's value to both arguments. I just think that right.
They're throwing the delectable skins into the soup.
You're gonna get a little burning. It's better than 5 stars. It's got 6 stars.
Can I have a nibble?
My stomach is like, there's the promise of food.
Spoon.
That was how we rolled it.
Food holder.
Chicken's in there cooking away.
Should I go off on my tear again?
Oh, look at that. Is it a good point? Now, we're gonna... I believe that it'll cut through a shoe.
We can just all eat off of this.
So that nothing is wasted.
And so then I...
Oh yeah, so all that good chicken flavor is in there, all the stuff from the bottom of the pan, you can kind of see some of the bits that come up there. I need to taste this.
I think you're right.
It's amazing. All right, I'd like to thank you very much for joining us in our premiere episode of Foodland. We just had an amazing
Damn
meal.
it, you did it again.
What am I
It's
supposed to?
Foodlandia.
Oh, I thought we were
It
gonna
could
use
be
them both.
Foodland too, it doesn't matter.
Well, that's why we're doing it
Okay.
in sync, because he said Foodland in the other one.
Okay, I'll say
Idiot.
Foodlandia. Ready? So I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today on our premiere episode of Foodlandia. We'd like to thank, well, everybody that's in this room here, and also Teresa from the co-op, as well as Derek and Gabby and Lois from the Grantwood Farmers Market. And join us next time when Baker Jacob's going to talk to us about bread and cheese. So thanks again.
And we had a delicious meal.
Yeah, delicious meal.
Just thrust it.
Delicious meal.